The sun sets differently over the rugged terrain of northwest Nigeria. It doesn't just go down, it bleeds across the horizon, casting long, jagged shadows across the scrublands of Zamfara and Katsina. For years, these shadows have belonged to the forest dwellers, bandits who transitioned from petty cattle rustlers to sophisticated high-stakes insurgents. But on this particular Tuesday, the air felt heavy. Local intelligence, the eyes and ears of the community, had noticed a shift. The markets were unusually quiet. The usual movement of motorbikes between the hidden camps in the Rugu forest had stopped. Something was brewing. A massive coalition of bandit generals, men who usually spend their time fighting each other over territory, had formed an unholy alliance. Their target: a key military forward operating base, FB, that had been strangling their supply lines. The bandits, a new breed of chaos. We aren't talking about men with rusted muskets. These cells have become militarized through the illicit arms trade flowing down from the Sahel and Libya. They've acquired Type 56 and AK-103 assault rifles, modern variants with high cyclic rates of fire, PKM general-purpose machine guns, the choppers of the bush capable of suppressing entire platoons, RPG-7s, designed to punch through the light armor of Nigerian patrol vehicles, the defenders, the silent professionals. Inside the base were the men of the Nigerian Army's Special Task Force. These are soldiers who have been rotated out of the northeast after fighting Boko Haram. They are battle-hardened, cynical, and highly trained. They knew that in the bush, your best friend isn't your rifle. It's your discipline. They had spent weeks reinforcing their HESCO barriers, digging deep slit trenches, and pre-registering their D-fire defensive fire zones. The attack didn't start with a shout, it started with a whistle. Suddenly, the darkness was illuminated by the backblast of 3 rocket-propelled grenades fired simultaneously at the base's main gate. The bandits used a human wave tactic. In their minds, the sheer volume of fire and the terrifying sound of hundreds of motorcycles revving at once would cause the soldiers to break and run. This is a psychological tactic they've used effectively against poorly defended villages. But a military base is a different beast entirely. The base commander, a seasoned major who had seen action in the Mandara Mountains, gave a chilling order over the radio. "Hold, hold, let them taste the wire." The soldiers stayed low in their trenches, letting the bandits waste thousands of rounds of ammunition on the sandbagged walls. The bandits, emboldened by the lack of returning fire, surged forward. They reached the outer perimeter of concertina wire. They thought they had won. Then, the world turned into lead. The major signaled the heavy weapons teams. 2 ZSU-23-2 anti-aircraft guns, leveled horizontally for ground support, opened up. The sound was deafening. Thump, 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 thump. These 23mm shells don't just hit a target, they disintegrate it. The motorcycles, the makeshift cover, and the attackers themselves were shredded in seconds. While the main force of bandits was being hammered at the gate, a smaller, elite group of insurgents tried to hook around the rear of the base, thinking they had found a blind spot. They hadn't. The Nigerian Army had deployed thermal imaging and drones, specifically the Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2s, or smaller commercial reconnaissance drones adapted for night flight. The soldiers watched the flanking heat signatures on their screens like a video game. A specialized sniper team, equipped with suppressed high-caliber rifles, began picking off the bandit leaders one by one. In the chaos of the night, the bandits didn't even know where the shots were coming from. They were falling over, dead, before they even heard the crack of the rifle. As the bandits' general realized the assault was failing, he tried to sound the retreat, but the Nigerian Army had already anticipated the exit route. A quick response force, QRF, had been positioned 2 kilometers out, waiting in the tall grass. As the panicked survivors fled on their bikes, they ran straight into a kill box. The army utilized coordinated mortar fire, lighting up the night with illumination flares, followed immediately by high explosive rounds. The retreat turned into a rout. The slaughter, mentioned in the headlines, wasn't an exaggeration. It was the result of superior planning meeting raw, uncoordinated aggression. When the sun rose the next morning, the scene was grim. The invincibility of the bandit leaders had been shattered. The loss of assets. Over 50 motorcycles, the most valuable asset for a bandit, were recovered or destroyed. Intelligence. Gold mine, soldiers recovered encrypted radios and charms or amulets that the bandits believed would protect them from bullets. More importantly, they found burner phones that contained contacts for informants within the local government. A huge win for national security. This battle wasn't just a skirmish, it was a statement of intent. For a long time, the narrative has been that the military is on the defensive. This slaughter at the base proves that when the army is allowed to use its full tactical suite, drones, heavy artillery, and night vision, the bandits stand zero chance. It also serves as a warning to the kingpins hiding in the forests. The Nigerian state is no longer just holding the line. They are pushing back. We must remember the soldiers. Many of them haven't seen their families in months. They live on dry rations, fight in 40-degree heat, and deal with the constant psychological pressure of an invisible enemy. This victory belongs to them. The unknown soldier who stood his ground when the motorcycles came screaming out of the dark.
Wani kalan farin ciki ne za ku nuna wa gwamnati saboda ya cire ku a cikin wannan yanayi, saboda ya cire ku a cikin wannan halin?
To da farko dai muna gode wa Allah, muna gode wa sojojin Najeriya. Mu dai wayannan mutanen mun fito neman abin da za mu ci ne a hanyar Kayamla. Suka kama mu suka ce mu kira 'yan uwanmu, to mu dai har ga Allah ba mu da kuɗi. Sojojin Najeriya suka zo, wayannan mutanen suka fita da gudu. Sojoji suka ɗauke mu suka kawo mu bakin hanya, suka ce to suka ba mu abin da za mu je gida, suka kawo mu bakin hanya. Mu dama 'yan Maiduguri ne. Mun gode wa Allah, mun gode wa sojojin Najeriya.